Good evening, everyone. Oh, that's not what we want up on the screen. There we go. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the Canadian Starships Saturday night live stream. My name is Andrew. This is Canadian Starships. We have Ken here tonight who is producing for me. Say hello, Ken.
Hi there, everyone.
All right. How's everybody doing tonight? First order of business, the housekeeping duties. Of course, Ken can hear me and see me, so I'm assuming you can see me and hear me, but let me know that you can see me and hear me by leaving a comment in that little area over there. That way I know that everything is working well. And we'll just check here to see if everything is working properly. One moment, please, while we wait for the chat to catch up. Still nobody saying anything, so...
Well, they're acknowledging me, so they heard you say that I was here.
Yeah, so here's hoping that they can see and hear. I'm assuming as much. See here? See here?
Yeah, there we go. Buck says I can see and hear you.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, let's see who else here. We've got Captain Chalamang here tonight. Saying evening, Andrew. Hope you had a good day, sir. I did. Let's see. Trek Mod says Captain on the bridge. Saying hello to Captain Chalamang. Let's see. Following Ghost is here. Buck is here. We've got Keith here. We've got Stephen Haynes here. Good evening. And anybody else? I don't want to miss anybody. Looks like everybody so far. So welcome, everybody.
At least that's all our chatty people anyway.
That's all the chatty people so far. That's right. Okay, so tonight we are going to be, let me get the hands right here. Fingers crossed. I know I've said this before, but for real this time, I think we're going to get the lid on this thing. I've been just sorting through some lighting issues in the saucer, on the saucer window lighting. I think I've got that sorted. We are going to test everything. We're going to make sure everything is working properly. We also have to test the lighting on the upper saucer to make sure that everything is working through from bottom to top. There isn't a whole lot in the top. There's the phaser array, some navigation lights, and the bridge and conference room lights, and that's about it. So there's not really a lot to test on there. All of the window lighting for the saucers is on that metal piece in the saucer, in the lower saucer section. All that's working now. We will double test that, but we should be able to get that lid on, which means after tonight I'll be able to move on to getting all the seam work done, and then we'll get some paint on this thing. So everybody's saying hello to everybody else. Let's see. Captain Shaling says, hopefully you can leave tonight's stream without having shrink tube on the brain. Yeah, hopefully. I don't think there's going to be a whole ton of that to do tonight, with any luck. With any luck, hopefully. We also do have some lighting that has to be addressed in the secondary hull. What I mean is I must have wired up the data in the wrong order. So the window lights in the aft section are mostly red. The deflector dish is white, and the impulse engine is half and half white, half blue. So I just need to figure out which lights are which, and just the easiest way for me to deal with that is just deal with it in the programming, and I will label, you can't see it right now because I haven't switched over to the desk view yet, but I will just label the appropriate Raspberry Pi as the one for that ship, so that I know which Pi goes with which ship, because the order of the LEDs is going to be a little bit different just because of the way it was connected. So with that said, we're going to get this beastie over here on the bench, on the work desk, and we are going to get started with all of that. And we'll probably start out with a lighting test, so you'll see some lights. All right. Everybody's saying hi to everybody, and Buck says Raspberry Pi. We have Pi. Well, we've got Raspberry Pi. Not that I would want to eat it. And as always, I've got my tea, Earl Grey, hot on the go. So let's throw my keyboard over here and bring this little beastie over.
Whoops, that didn't sound good.
It was just a case of drill bits that fell off a milk crate.
Oh, okay.
Why they were on the milk crate, I'm not sure. Okay, let's see how this thing is looking on the... Yeah, my overhead cam isn't quite high enough to catch everything, but we'll have to move it around as necessary. So let's switch that over. Let's throw my face in the corner. And let's get cracking on this. Buck says save the pieces.
It sounded like something broke. So
I see. I should probably just pick that up, make sure that it didn't pop open. It's literally just a case of drill bits. Just fell over, so that's why it made a racket. I'm going to try not to fall off my chair tonight. If I can avoid falling off my chair, that would be great. All right, so got a breadboard down here. Again, it's going to be hard to see. I'll just move the ship a little bit like that. Currently, I have the Raspberry Pi way down in the corner, okay? So way down in the right-hand corner of the screen. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, I've got the Raspberry Pi. I've got line power coming in, and also the ground from the Raspberry Pi is also plugged in here because bad things happen if they are not connected. I've got the data coming from the appropriate pin on the Raspberry Pi. In here, it is attached to the slot on the breadboard, which has the resistor. It needs a, I can't remember the resistor value that has to go in there for data, but I've got them written down somewhere.
Buck says, but falling off the chair makes for great sound and video bites.
Uh-huh.
And then Stephen Martin is here.
Good evening, Stephen. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. All right. So Raspberry Pi is plugged into the breadboard. Power is plugged into the breadboard. What I forgot to do at Wonderfest when we were setting up the other one and getting it ready for display and wondering why nothing was happening, I forgot to actually plug the leads from the ship into the breadboard. Let's do that. And the moment I plug the green data wire in here, this thing should light up. And it does. Everything's is lit up. All the window lights are lit up. So that is good. So that is what we wanted to see. Now, right now, not that you can really see it, but you know what? I need to grab my phone so I can give you an extra camera. Just give me one moment. I'll grab that here. It was just on charge. If you heard that noise, I just knocked over my son's Hot Wheels as I was walking to get my phone off the charger. All right, let me connect my phone to the live stream here. Just take me a moment.
Captain Charlemagne's commenting on seeing Jody's pictures in the Discord. of his Galar class Starship mod.
So Jody is going to be streaming as soon as my stream ends at 11, and Jody's going to be starting his stream at 11. And we're trying out something new today. Automatically at the end of my stream, everybody will be moved over to Jody's stream. You won't have to do anything. You'll just automatically join the party. So hopefully that's going to work out. I think I accidentally changed, instead of changing huh. I'm going to have to type in a brand new link for my wireless camera instead of the one that I have been using. It decided to change it on me today.
All right.
So one moment, please, while I connect my mobile phone camera.
For all of those of you following my the buddy build with Jordan and I on the 1537 Reliant there, my new video will be out tomorrow, 11 a.m. my time, Central Time. So feel free to go and enjoy that. I end up installing the new housing for the impulse engine that was designed by Will over at the ensign's chair. So it looks really good.
All right, so you can see that the deflector dish is white, but if I can look through the break here, there's a significant gap here, and that's normal. They say that they fixed that. You can see red back there. Those are LEDs way off in the back to light the windows that are in the very back of the secondary hull, and they, for some reason, are red. The deflector is white, and the impulse is half white, half blue. So clearly, I've got those mixed up, so I've got to deal with those. So that's going to be first order of business today, I believe. You can see down. You can see down the neck, sort of.
You know, if you made the Bassards one flash red and one flash blue, you could make like a police version.
Ha! Well, I mean, that can't be done. There's nothing stopping it from happening. Absolutely nothing stopping it from happening. So, all right. I'm going to log in to the Raspberry Pi here.
Steven says, excellent technology working for us for a change.
Yeah.
And Captain Charlemagne says, sadly, I won't be able to make Jody's stream. Got to get up early in the morning, go to the parts store, and get new starter for my car.
So I need... Oh.
Well, Captain Charlemagne, hopefully that's not your main mode of transportation. Hopefully you have another way of getting to the store. To which Jody is replying, yes, priorities, buddy.
All right, so this is the user interface for... Actually, I can do this, so you can see the full screen that I see. So this is the user interface for the lighting system. And what I'm going to need to do is change the LED groups. So I'm going to have to adjust the impulse, the deflector, and the windows, which also means I'm going to have to pull up my spreadsheet so I can see what is there and what needs to be changed. So let me grab that. I'll switch back to bench view here for you. I'm going to grab my spreadsheet. And we're going to fix the addressing of these LEDs. And then what we're going to do is we're going to test the upper saucer lighting and make sure that all works.
Well, Captain Charlemagne, I'm glad to hear you have other modes of transportation. That's good to hear.
All right, here is the spreadsheet of lighting. And so the windows specifically that we are going to need to adjust. So we need to adjust these groups of lighting here, I believe. So I think based on how everything's being colored, I'm going to write this down and take some notes. So what I think is happening is that the windows are going first. Then it's going to the impulse engine. And then it's going to the deflector. So I think that's the order it's going to. So right now, these are 163. So we start at 163, and the windows are 1, 2, 3. So there are 6 LEDs in the windows. So I need to do 163, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68 to 168 as windows.
Alan Kelly is here, as well as Blair.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you guys doing? If you're wondering what we're doing right now, let me just switch back here for a moment. All lighting's working, and we're going to get the top saucer on tonight. That's what we're going to do, and then I'm going to be able to get all of the seam work done this week, and this one's going to be painted and brought up to speed with the other one, which is good because I haven't gotten a video out since just after Wonderfest, and I've been waiting because I want to do a deep dive into the paint scheme, and I can't do that until this is all assembled. I had to gloss over the paint scheme in the video I did that I was producing before Wonderfest, and it came out just after Wonderfest. So it really deserves a good in-depth look at how the paint is done for this. So that's the next video I want to put out. I haven't been putting out video of assembling this because that's essentially what the last video I did was, or the last couple videos. So I didn't want to be repeating content. Right now, in the secondary hall, I must have hooked up the data cables in the wrong order. So we're just grabbing the adjustment to the LED list so that we can just readdress these in the software and get them doing exactly what we want them to do. So we've got these are the ones that are affected by how they've been wired up. So right now I've got 163 to 168 for Windows. So that means 169. We're going to do, I think it's impulse next. Yes, just going by the colors, impulse is next. That's 4 LEDs. So that's going to be 169, 170, 171 to 172. And we're going to go 173 to 176 for the deflector. Okay, so I've written that down just on a notepad here. And just to refresh, I'm going to grab the camera again. and toss it over to handheld. So just to refresh what we're doing, the lights in the back here are red. So they are getting, the first 4 lights anyway, are getting the, you can see the red in there. They're getting what's supposed to be going to the impulse. And then the impulse is half blue, half white, because it's getting half of what's supposed to go to the deflector and half of what's supposed to be going to those back windows. And then the deflector is currently white because it's getting the tail end of what should be going to those windows. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. And when I make the adjustments to the software here, it should all work properly. So let's flip back.
And remember, there will be a test at the end.
All right. So we're going to...
But the test will be of lights, not of you.
Yes. They will be of lights. So we are going to switch. Let's see. 650 Windows. And we want... Actually... What I'm going to do is mark down what they were and what they're going to be now. So one moment while I do that. So the windows were 171 to 176. They're going to be 163 to 168. Impulse used to be 163 to 166. They're now going to be 169 to 172. And deflector used to be 167 to 170. Okay.
Captain Charlemagne says Khan has taken over the Enterprise.
Because they've turned red. All right, so we are looking for the batch of windows that used to be 171 to 176. That is this batch of windows right here. So we're going to reassign that to... I need a keyboard so I can type this stuff in. Okay, I've got my keyboard. Got to move my tea, Earl Grey, hot. Okay, so that was 171 to 176. That is now going to be 163 to 168. We're going to save changes. And that shouldn't change anything on the model. No, I don't think it did. Shouldn't change anything on the model until we redo we reinitialize the program. All right, next up is impulse. Impulse is right here. That used to be 163 to 166. That is now going to be 169 to 172. We're going to save those changes. And yet, nothing took effect yet. And then deflector is now going to be 173 to 176. Save those changes. I'm going to grab my iPad and connect it because that's the easiest way for me to adjust the lighting on here on the go. I just have to switch my iPad over to... Okay, I can switch this back to this view here. And don't worry, all of the lighting will look a little funky on the camera, but they are the correct colors. Don't worry. Let's switch.
Yeah, to me, those white lights on the top almost look like they almost have a slight pinkish hue to them.
Yeah, So they certainly look white. They've got they're a little bit of a, they're not quite a cool, not quite a warm. They're kind of in between, which is kind of nice. Of course, you can adjust the coloring of the lights any way you want. Okay. Powered down. Now, when I power it back up, we've got a blue deflector.
Looks like I see a red glow coming from the impulse engine.
Yeah, which means all the window lighting is the correct color. Woohoo! Okay, we fixed that. So let me grab my phone.
You need one of those easy buttons.
That was easy. I don't know if they have those in the States. Easy buttons.
Yeah, I don't know.
So back to handheld. Brace yourselves for the nausea ride. So first of all, we have a blue. See how easy it was? I didn't have to go in, crack things open, and move LEDs around. All I had to do was go into the programming and make adjustments. We've got red LEDs for the deflector. And if you look all the way back in here, I don't know how well.
You meant the impulse engine, everyone.
Sorry, what?
You said red lights for the deflector. You meant impulse engine.
The impulse, yeah. Sorry, streamer brain. And all the way back in there, can you see them? Oh yeah.
White lights.
Those LED, you can just see the first LED on the strip, and it's white, the way it's supposed to be.
Yep.
So, problem 1 solved. Hip, hip, hooray. There we go. Anything on the chat that we need to know?
Well, Keith did tell us that, yes, they do have the easy button there. And Captain Charlemagne says, we do have, I've seen several. We have a few at work as a joke among the employees when we are in the training room.
Sorry, as you were reading that, I accidentally got a little bit of the tea the wrong way down my throat, and so I was just preventing myself from coughing it all back up. All right. So I'm just trying to think what the best way to test all of this would be. Because I need to test the saucer, the upper saucer. And that's going to be a logistical issue. Oh, let me make sure the phasers work. I should test that. Tactical and lower. This is lower. Actually, we'll see if I power down. When I go back to tactical, we should be able to see the phasers fire. Did you see that on camera?
Yes, we did.
It just kind of glows through a little bit. It's not enough to affect any of the lighting inside the ship, but it's nice because I can verify that it's working properly.
Yep.
Just enough. Because obviously it is, I mean, you can see a little bit on the bottom, but it's all masked off. All right, so that tells me everything there is working the way it is supposed to. That is good. All right, I am going to power down the Raspberry Pi here.
Stephen Martin's asking, says, excellent. So if you have a custom lighting project, does Innerlight help you with the programming?
Yeah, Andy will give you any assistance that you need. Sometimes he's got some presets for some projects that you might be able to get a hold of as well. No, don't quote me on that. No promises on that. But he's definitely there to give you any assistance that you need in the process. The biggest thing is just learning how it all works and functions. Once you kind of learn your way around doing it all, you can basically do anything you want to. Let me go back to the interface here. So what you saw me doing here was setting up the groups of LEDs. So basically that's saying which LEDs in the data chain, 1 through, I don't know, how many LEDs do I have here? I've got, so 1 through 573 in this particular project. I know. It's a lot. But most of them are just phasers, which are not on most of the time. So I've just assigned chiller grills, and you just mark which LEDs in the line are the chiller grills. So in this case, it's 1 to 39 and 49 to 87. Then it shows which ones are the Buzzards, which in this case are 40 through 48. And, I'm pointing at them as if you can see them on the ship because I'm on screen. 40 to 48 and 88 to 90, et cetera, et cetera. So all the windows. So all I did was I installed everything, and then I just assigned in the software which LEDs are what items. So then once all that's done, you can set up in LED effects.
Stephen says thank you for answering his question.
Oh, you know what? I turned off, so I'm not able to see it in here anymore because I turned off the Raspberry Pi. So switching the things here. So once I turn it back on, I'll give you the tour through the software because Raspberry Pi has to be on for that to work. So we'll do what I need to do to get the upper saucer checked out, tested, and then I'll go back through and I'll give you just a brief tour of the software and how it all works. All right, let's switch back to this view here. And by the way, Blair, yes, you're going to be able to log into that and make any adjustments you want to the lighting of the ship. So if there's something that you want it to do that I haven't programmed in, you'll just be able to log into the user interface, and you'll be able to make any adjustments to the effects that you want. All right. By the way, and you can make adjustments. You can set up whole brand new scenes with whatever effects you want without messing up what's already been put in there with the scenes that I've created, or I should say the scenes that Andy has created, because Andy kind of set up the scenes while we were at Wonderfest. All right, so I've got the upper saucer here, and what I'm going to do essentially is try to hook up what's on the, I don't know if you can see here, but everything is coming out the impulse engines. So everything's coming out the impulse engines on the top, on the bottom here. Everything's coming out the impulse engines on the top. When it gets all assembled, the impulse engine areas are where they are going to be joined, the top and the bottom saucer. Best way on an Enterprise D like this, best place to join them all up so you're not trying to clamshell the whole thing is there on the saucer impulse engines. Especially if it's not a separable saucer, because if the saucer does not separate, the impulse engines do not turn on. So in this case, there's no way for the saucer to separate the way that the kit is designed, and so the impulse engines are not lighted.
Blair says, very cool setup. Andy is a genius.
Yes, he is. He's made this just so easy to work with. It's fantastic. All right. So we're going to temporarily just connect top and bottom here. So that's just going to take me a little bit of time to connect up the top and the bottom. Just a reminder for those who are more recently joining us tonight. at the end of our stream, the stream will automatically send you all over to the live stream at Trek Mods with Jody. And that's something new that we are trying out to see how that feature on YouTube works.
Blair is saying it was cool that Andy made an effort to come over for Wonderfest.
Yep.
And Alec is here. Good evening, Alec.
Hey, Alec, how's work going? I'm assuming you're at work, because you're always at work. If you're not at work, I'd be highly surprised. So first thing we're going to connect up, and I should probably move some things around here so I can access my solder gun a little bit easier without accidentally hitting the Enterprise with it. So what we're gonna test first the addressable lighting system. So all the addressable lighting system is on the same side. You've got you've got power and you've got the data. So we're going to connect that with the upper saucer and give all of that a test. Then we will test the navigation lights, which are on the opposite side. So just for logistics, to make it a little easier, we're going to test the addressable side, and then we're going to test the 0402 SMD side of things.
Alex says he's not at work. He went home early due to getting sick. Well, I hope you're feeling better soon, Alec.
Yeah, we don't want you to be sick. Hopefully it's nothing nothing too serious. I'm keeping an eye on the outside temperature because it's getting very close to opening up the big doors temperature outside, which will be nice to get some airflow through here. Wire cutters. Here are my wire cutters. So I'm just going to temporarily join these lines together. Nothing fancy, just has to work. I can actually move the breadboard and the Raspberry Pi out of the way. Give myself a little bit more space to work here. And I can bring the Omni thingamabobbies over. Always important to have the Omni thingamabobbies.
It is.
Can you see? Can you see what I'm doing in the bottom right-hand corner? Okay.
Yes, we can.
The Enterprise D is blocking my view, so I can't quite tell everything you guys can see right now. It's also blocking my my view of the chat, so that's why it's great to have somebody keeping an eye on the chat for me.
Yeah, all that's new is Alec is saying hopefully that it's nothing serious, and thanks, guys. Jobuan is here now. He says everything looks impressive.
Well, thank you. Welcome to the live stream. So I went through and replaced the wiring and redid the wiring on here so that the power distribution was better. Did it all. Ended up with the same problem at the exact same spot. which was making me think, how did I not fix the problem? Turns out that it just happened that the power in to this particular LED strip, somewhere in here, there must be something in the noodles going to the main lead where it wasn't properly attached. It just happened that it was exactly the same LED that was the issue.
Did you got shrink tube in there?
Nope.
Because you're just doing it temporarily?
Yeah, this is just a tip. I might have to change the tip on this. It might be time. Because that should just be melting it like nothing. Just going to raise the temp a little bit there. Come on.
Not sure what you're trying to say there, Alan. This kind of got, rather than learn Strawberry Pie or Yells, there's someone else who might. There you go.
I don't know how good that joint's going to be, but it doesn't have to be very good right now. No, I didn't pre-tin the other wire.
Okay, Alan is saying, is there someone or a company that provides programming services for Strawberry Pie or the other model LED program?
So with this system, you don't have to do any coding or programming or anything like that. It's basically choose from a drop-down menu what you want. And that's the beauty of the system. Which also means it's it's completely changeable after the fact.
So basically, you just have your power come into your first LED, and then you just chain them all along?
No.
Okay.
You don't want to... ooh, my wire coming out of this is super long, so I can just tack it on here. That's nice. Like you wouldn't chain all the power together, or you're going to have power distribution issues.
Sorry, I guess it would be your data. I mean,
yeah, your data is going to be chained together, one to the next to the next.
Okay, which would then make it easy because then you know which is your where you're actual going with your data lines.
Yeah, and it just data line management is the one thing you just want to be aware of, and you just want to be stay organized with it. That's why I did up a spreadsheet for it. Yeah, I think it's going to be time to change the
tip.
tip on this solder station.
Is that a common sort of thing that has to be done every once in a while?
Depends on the quality of the tip.
Oh, okay. So Job 1 is asking, it looks like direct LED placement rather than fiber optics. Is that correct?
Yes. If you're talking about the navigation lights, yes, they are 0402 SMDs. I much prefer that than running fiber lines. It's much easier getting the 0402 SMDs where you want them than it is getting fiber where you want it. I'm going to turn off my solder station for a minute, let it cool down, and I think I'm going to replace that tip. Which means I just have to find my replacement tips. Of course, they were in the exact spot they were supposed to be. So that made it simple.
Alex asking what the counter says for days to Wonderfest or time to Wonderfest.
It says 298 days, 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 45 seconds.
And here we have it.
The push is on.
Alan is asking if there is someone or a company that can provide services for Raspberry Pi programming.
That I do not know.
From what I've seen, it usually just seems like you gotta know a guy.
Yeah. But like I said, that's the beauty of this system. You don't need any of that. Oh, you know what? This wasn't locked. It wasn't locked down all the way. Let me try again.
Oh.
With it locked down all the way. It seems to come loose periodically for some reason. I don't know why. So this is an 0402 SMD line that runs directly to where the nav light is. So it goes right up just to the surface, and then it's topped off with some doming solar res.
And Alex asking, he says, I mean, Tana Controls has pre-programmed ones, but I don't think they can do anything custom, correct, Ken? Yeah, Tana Controls isn't a Raspberry Pi. It's just an actual, like, circuit board that's just set up to do certain, things, wherever it can't really be changed.
Yeah, it's a custom PCB that Ralph's designed and made up. I mean, his stuff's good. It's just that I moved on to addressable. Oh, that's the wrong wire.
Well, your options are so much better with the addressable.
Yeah. I shouldn't have to be fighting with this. There we go. Once I hook the data up, I'm just gonna twist the data.
Captain Charlemagne is heading out. He says, hope you all have a good night.
Have a good night.
You too, Captain Charlemagne. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow during our HDM stream on Sunday.
And I may or may not do a pre-HTM stream.
Okay.
Just depends on how my morning goes, what time I get home from work, etc.
Right.
So, all right. So I'm going to turn off the solder station now that everything is temporarily connected. I'll let that cool down. I think I will change the tip.
Blair's asking, Andrew, how do you find soldering those wires, or you crimp them as well?
How do you find soldering those wires, or you crimp them as well? I solder everything, and everything gets shrink tubed.
Alan says HTM stream, Hobby Time Modelers. It's a group of modelers from the we also have a Discord. So there's a bunch of us. Usually you can find anywhere from 4 to 8 or 9 of us on there streaming, building.
I think it's capped out at, I think the most it's been on at one time has been 9, right?
I think so. I think they said 10 is possible, but
10 is the capacity. All right, Raspberry Pi is just booting up. So let's connect the main leads from the ship. I'm not sure which ones are ODN conduits and which ones are EPS lines, but here we go. There's light in the bridge.
nice.
And that's at the end of the data line. So that means everything should be working. But let me turn my overhead light off here for a moment. I'll reconnect to the Raspberry Pi on my iPad.
Alex says, I should definitely look at those addressable LEDs from our Cerritos build. That way, if I wanted to, I could reenact the chaos the crew always finds themselves in, or make it look like the crew is throwing a party. Wouldn't put it past them to do that again.
Power everything down. Go to tactical. And this time we're going to fire the upper phasers. And they're working. I don't know if you can see that.
Yes, we could see the beginning kind of both sides.
Okay. Power up, and I can tell that the Arboretum is running. Again, all this stuff is masked off, so it's hard to know.
And Tony's here. He says, evening.
Let's go back to tactical. Let's try Borg upper. Did you see the green fire?
I saw the green. There it goes again.
And Borg lower.
Yes, that one's going.
Red lower.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all working. Perfect.
Yeah, Alan, feel free to come by and check us out. I don't know if you're in North America and what time zone you're in. I think it starts 4 p.m. Eastern. You can just check out Hobby Time Modelers on YouTube.
There's no flashers on. I tested the flashers earlier. Oh, yes, there are flashers. There's flashers on the lower end. There's no flashers. I'm getting myself confused here. There's no flashers on the bottom saucer. There's flashers on the top saucer. So for a moment there, I was thinking, well, there's no flashers on the top saucer. I have to check. So let's see. I'm just gonna throw these into, because I know everything works on the lower section. I'm just going to test the flasher behind the bridge here. Actually, let me grab some jumpers. That's going to be the easiest way for me to connect them, I think. Oh, no, I want pin on one end, no pin on the other. Just looking through my bin of jumpers to see if I can find anything suitable. Or if I have to pull them off, I think I might just have to pull them off the ribbon here.
Yes, and Alan, whereas Andrew's stream here is rated E for everyone, the Hobby Time Modeler stream is not.
Yes, very important to be aware
of.
Not
have little children hanging out nearby. Or anybody with language sensitivities.
They're not terrible, just not rated E for everyone.
No. A little bit more towards the adult side of humor.
All right, my bridge flasher works.
Good.
I'm just not able to. Well, maybe I can. No, I can't show. I can't flip it all over right now to show. Unfortunately. And now I need to just test the nav lights. How are we doing on time?
You are at 59 minutes.
Okay.
In just about 1 hour. You're at 59 minutes and 56 seconds. There you go, 1 hour. I would tend to agree with Blair there, Alec. It's a solid NC-17. It just depends. Each stream is different. And it depends on who's there.
And all of the constant ons are working. Successful test. You gotta love it when everything is tested successfully. All right, now I'm gonna take all this apart. And we're gonna close up the saucer.
Nice. One step closer to painting.
Yeah. So over the next couple of days, I should be able to get the seam work done. Okay, I'm going to cut power. Power has been cut. We're going to put this aside for now. And the solder wand is cool enough to be able to swap out now.
And Andrew, if I could later bother you for a copy of the link to those black needle tip bottles. I'm assuming you get them on Amazon.
Amazon, yeah. Might take me a moment to find them, but we should be good.
Yeah, I keep using the big bottle, and the toothpick method.
Yeah. This is what you want.
Yes, exactly. Is it like a 1 ounce bottle or?
I'm not sure. It'll say on the listing. Side, I'm just going to cut it off. There we go. Cutting it off is easy enough.
True. When I go to attach the top and bottom of my saucers for my Reliant, I'm gonna really learn on the amount of wires to start using, because I'm gonna have a lot of extra length wires and I'll be cutting down.
Yep. It happens. Well, it's a lot easier to have more than you need than adding more if you need more later.
True enough. And I suppose anything that's super long I can save for future needs.
Well, I've got a bin of just random pieces.
Yeah.
And so when I need a short piece, I just grab from the random bin. All right, so before I lock this up, I'm just going to prepare these ends.
Yeah, Alec, I'm not too sure about that question. You might be better off asking that in the Discord channel.
He says, I still need to buy my douging resin for the Apache mods, let alone the Cerritos windows, or would normal solar res be better for that? Are you opening your Cerritos windows? I don't know about the Apache because I don't know the model.
Yeah, that's right. I think you'd be better off asking the people who are doing those mods already, be it Todd or Ian.
So before I lock everything up, I've just got a couple loose ends to tidy up on the lower saucer here.
So Alex, wondering if doming resin would be, good to use for the windows on their Cerritos, or would he be better off on just using regular solar res?
Again, are you open, Alec? Are you opening the windows?
Yes, he's going to try and open his windows.
Then yeah, solar res. The solar res I've been using, they've got lots of different, but it is a doming solar res I've been using. Works fine for the windows. Just tape them off from the outside, fill them from the inside. However, That said, I don't know the size of the windows on that kit. They may be too small to do that with. If they are small, then I would fill them with microcrystal clear after everything else, after your painting is done. So it just depends on the size of your windows. So for example, the Enterprise E windows I leave open throughout the entire process, and then I fill them at the end with SolarRes. The same thing will be true with the the 1400 Enterprise D. I'll leave them open and fill them with SolarRes at the end. Not SolarRes, fill them with microcrystal clear at the end.
Do you get much spray through that affects lights at all with
No.
No? Okay.
No. Because it doesn't matter what color is inside, it's just going to register as dark.
Right. I'm just thinking for my Reliant build with the window boxes and the white diffusing material behind the window.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got something really close to the window surface, maybe you might have to be concerned with that.
Yeah, there's other, options being SolarRes the windows now and then mask them. Alternatively, I was also thinking of putting canopy glue in there and using that temporarily, and then just picking that out afterwards, and then UV resining the windows.
Yeah.
Because there's not that many windows in comparison to something like this.
Yeah, because if you're light boxing them, then you just have to take into account that there's a surface for the paint to collect on fairly close to the surface. Yes. But again, I mean, the amount of paint that might get through would be minimal.
Right.
But I don't know, maybe what it would be worth doing is setting up a test. So putting a light box, so opening up a window about the same size on a sheet of styrene.
Yep.
Putting the light box behind, hitting it with the paint, and see what happens. That way you would know for sure.
Very true. Stephen Haynes says it's time. It's that time in the morning as here. So night, everyone. Stay safe and see you at HTM later.
All right. Have a good night.
You take care,
Thanks
Stephen.
For stopping in. So I had to terminate some wires. So I'm just making sure that all the wires I had to terminate are folded over and capped with shrink tube, just so that there aren't any exposed ends anywhere.
When you're talking about terminating, you need to use an Austrian accent.
Terminating. Get to the chopper. All right, I think. Oh, no, there's one more. I knew that one had to be around somewhere. I just couldn't see it. So this might look like a big mess of wires, but it all makes sense. At least it makes sense to me.
And that's all that really matters then.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to check to make sure that there's nothing that needs to be tacked down anymore. There's at least one wire I think I'm going to tack down. Right up. Oh, you can't see it. just right up here in the front, this data wire, just so that I know that nothing's moving around, nothing's going anywhere. No chance that anything's gonna like droop down and affect lighting somewhere else.
But Alec, the Daleks don't say terminate; they say exterminate.
Exterminate, exterminate. And then
But
the Cybermen say delete, delete. All right. I'm just going to tape down these main power leads because they've ended up becoming quite short. I don't want them getting lost back inside the ship. I'm just going to tape them down. If I can find my scissors, here they are. You still with us, Ken?
I'm still here.
All right. You just gone quiet, so I just wanted to make sure.
I'm just making a mental list of things I need to purchase on Amazon. I suppose I could just open another window and start shopping in Amazon.
You could do that if you wanted to.
Yeah, let's see here. Now, do they do any 0402s that are resisted at 5 volts?
I can't remember.
3 to 6 volts. There we go.
I might get my 0402 SMD somewhere else. I can't remember now that I think about it.
Well, 3 to 6 volt. That's right in that range. As opposed to the ones that are I've gotten before that are like resisted at 9 volts.
That's a problem for me.
What's that?
I'm gonna have to make some adjustments to the Arboretum.
Oh.
My light box is a little bit too big. So everybody, we're adjusting the light box in the upper saucer section tonight.
Yay!
So we may not get this thing assembled tonight. And that's why we test fit. So the light box is either too far forward, too deep, or a combination of the two. So I'm going to pop it off and modify it or build a new one, whichever is going to work best.
Alec is asking a quick question. Is liquid mask something I should use an old, worn out, and unneeded paintbrush to apply, or can it be washed like any Viejo or tester's paint?
Is liquid mask something I should use an old, worn out, unneeded paintbrush to apply, or can it be washed like any Vallejo or tester's paint? Liquid mask is essentially just silicone. And if it's wet, you should be able to clean it out with water. And if it's dried out, you should just be able to pull it out. I wouldn't let it go dry, though, if at all possible.
A lot of times I'll use those disposable eyebrow glue applicator brushes for the eyelash glue. Or a toothpick, depending on how small of an area I'm masking.
So I can make this light box a lot smaller. And that should be fine.
Alan is saying, I always pick up one or two great modeling tips during your presentation, Andrew.
Good. I'm glad. I'm not sure what you might have picked up tonight, but always hope it helps. I'm always keeping my eyes open for new techniques and stuff. And sometimes if the technique doesn't exist, you just have to create it yourself. That's kind of what I ran into with the Solares glass. There wasn't a technique to do what I wanted to do, and so I had to come up with one. So the Arboretum, like, I didn't have a fit issue with it on the other one, but each of these is built on the spot, right? So it's not like I have a pattern for the light box for the Arboretum. I just built it independently of each other each time. And so the sizing is going to be different because the
Joe Bwan is asking, is this 1701D heading for a museum or just your personal most awesome collection?
It is heading to the personal collection of the client. Both of them are. The other one is in a little bit further stages towards completion. Let me just pull up my mobile camera here.
Yes, the other one was the one that was seen at Wonderfest.
Featured on the Tested channel.
Yes.
Come on. There we go. Here's the other one.
With a phenomenal paint job.
So we're looking to get the one I'm working on right now to this stage. I really had to be fast on the paint job on that one so that it was ready for Wonderfest. And so it didn't get the treatment in the video that the paint process really deserves. So the next video I want to put out is the paint job on this one.
Alan's asking, tonight was solar res. Do you have a UV light with it?
Yep. Right here. And in fact, the if you look at my videos where I did the conference room windows, the conference room back here on the flip side, the conference room in there, and you can actually see inside the conference room. It's not going to really show up well on camera here, but in order to keep that optically clear, so you can see what's going on the inside, I came up with a new technique to make solar res glass so that it stays optically clear. All right, so I'm going to have to modify what I've made here. I'm just going to chop that off.
Yeah, so Andrew has an actual solar res branded UV light. Mine is just some cheap one off of Amazon. And I think I would have been better off with the solar res one.
I was just going to ask, does it work okay?
It just seems to take longer.
Yeah, because they say that the solar res is keyed for a specific frequency of light,
Mm-hmm.
and that their flashlights are specifically tuned to.
Okay, but I'm also not actually using name brand solar res either.
Okay.
Or Steinl-Res. Or yeah, solar res, sorry. I'm just using a generic brand one of those as well. Kind of in the same boat as you. It's like I don't really want to pay those outrageous prices to get it here in Canada. I should just have it shipped to my dad in Minnesota, and when he comes up to see me, every once a month or whatever. Alan's asking, do you remember when you made the conference windows with solar res? Probably so we can go back and take a look.
Please stand by. Update number 5. One moment.
There we go. Throw down a link for him.
I am. If it'll copy the link. My keyboard is a Bluetooth keyboard, and it goes into hibernation sometimes.
Yes.
So that link should take you to the video where I did the solar res glass. Okay, pencil. Here's the pencil. I'm going to take these way down. in size.
Oh, there we go. Those needle bottles, did you get, like, was it like a pack of like 15 of them?
Something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think I found them here. Perfect. Sorry if anybody's saying anything. I'm just making a purchase.
Alan said thank you.
There we go.
Assuming in regards to the link.
And I'm back. There, I remember to order those needle bottles. And some more 0402 lights.
You always need 0402 SMDs.
Yes, and in this case, these ones are for a change resistor for 3 to 6 volts, which is good because my Reliant is running off of 5 volts.
USB?
Yes. Just saves me with some of these other ones. I've been trying to change them over from 9 volt to 5 volt. And those wires on those things are just so thin. So the less soldering I have to do on them, the better.
Yep.
Oh, and Jordan and I figured out what the problem was with my mic that was causing issues the other day. It was the lavalier microphone itself, just a short in the wire. So I ordered another 2 mics for I think $25 or something.
Which mics are they?
The lavalier ones, just the wire ones that plug into the actual sending unit.
I mean, like which microphones are you using?
What am I using? I'm using the same ones Ian was using.
Oh, the Rode?
Yes.
Ugh. I glued this on the wrong side.
Uh-oh. Is that just straight styrene?
Yep.
You don't want to use like, you don't have any Tamiya extra thin or anything?
I don't want to wait.
All right. Alec is thinking he needs to order more Sunlu Labs resin, like gray resin order, redo his printing of his NX01 that he was working on.
Mm-hmm.
As it fit nicely on his build plates. Or print plates.
Well, this is definitely a job I wasn't planning on doing tonight.
Mm-hmm. You're just over the 1 hour, 30-minute mark.
Yeah, just glanced at the clock myself just before you said that.
Okay.
And hopefully this handoff to Jody's stream works as intended.
Yes, let's hope so.
Because it'll be nice to know how that works well.
So does it do it by time or just when you actually
when I end the stream, when I end the stream, it'll send everybody over to Jody's stream.
Okay.
So ideally, Jody starts his stream just before I end my stream.
Right. Oh, Alan says, for some reason, when Andrew provides a link, my Samsung tablet will not show it. It happened 2 weeks ago as well. I have to go to my desktop.
Huh. Not sure why that would be the case. We just got my son off of a Samsung tablet.
Did you get him onto an Apple one?
We got him onto an iPad. So Rogers gave us, so we were updating our plan one time and they had an offer where they just gave us Samsung tablets and free data on it and the free data for 2 years.
Right.
So we ended up just using them for the kids tablets. But I mean, they're not the best tablets in the world. So
no.
One of them started going, so that's when we got my daughter an iPad. And the other one started to just do random things, changing programs, changing screens, whatever, without any user input. And so when my daughter broke her iPad screen, and she's autistic, and so the iPad is a regulation tool for her. So it's kind of an important thing for her to have. And so we didn't want to leave her without anything while we tried to get it fixed. Of course, not knowing Apple doesn't fix iPads, iPad screens.
Yes, no, they don't.
And so what the plan was that we would get her a new one so that she wouldn't be without while her iPad was being repaired. So we set up the new one, got everything transferred over, and then went to take it into Apple, and of course they don't repair it. So I went through the process of learning how to fix an iPad with a broken digitizer, and did all that work and got it working. And so now we've moved him over to her old one and finished getting that set up today.
Nice.
So apparently you can run the inner lighting controls on an Android tablet. So I've just got a message into Andy asking which app to download in the Google Play Store for it. Because then if I can use it just for controlling these ships while they're in the shop, then I don't have to grab my own personal iPad to do it all the time.
Right.
I had to buy a heating pad to do it because you have to heat the screen in order to remove the adhesive.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Remove the top screen layer, which I was like, oh well. Investing in this means that if one of the kids breaks one in the future, then I've got the tools I need to repair it.
Alan is asking what you're using for glue on the UV box, please, or sorry, on the light box.
I'm using solar res.
Yeah, it's not really a glue, but it functions like it.
It's not meant to be a glue, but it works as a glue. And it's instantaneous with the light, so it's great for tacking this stuff down. Now, I won't get the top put on the ship tonight because I'll probably want to reinforce this with epoxy. I'm going to tack it in place with the solar res, and then I'm going to test fit it, just make sure it works. Because then I'll also tool up around the edges, just for light block purposes. So I'm basically right now just tacking the corners down so it stays in place long enough to do the test fit and then holds it in place while epoxy sets on it.
Hey, Howard's here. He says, "Oh, but you got less than 300 days."
Yet 298 days, 1 hour, 19 minutes, 52 seconds.
But who's counting?
So I've got these two Enterprise Ds to finish, two 1400 Enterprise Es to finish, a 1400 Enterprise D, and then I've got the Beast or Excelsior, depending on when they come in the shop, and another 1400 Enterprise D to do. I'm hoping that the timing works out where the Excelsior comes into the shop right about the time I need it. All right, I'm just going to quickly test fit this over on the back bench. So I might as well just do this while I do that. It'll be a little bit out of focus, but I'm sure everybody can deal with that.
Howard says, "Stop goofing off." Howard says he's still waiting on the NX-01. They said 2 weeks, a month and a half ago. What size is that one, Howard? Joe says, I would probably freak out with worry when I ship the final build off to the client. Well, there's a bit of
Something's
a
not
story
fitting.
to that one. I believe one client is coming to pick it up. And I believe you're delivering the other one. Is that correct, Andrew?
Unsure.
Okay, Howard says his NX01 is the 1 meter version. Is it still colliding?
Yeah, it's not colliding with that. It's something else inside.
You got a flashlight to shine in there to figure it out?
Somewhere I do.
Or did you figure it out?
I have not figured it out. I'm thinking it's got to be the armature, but it fit fine on the other one.
All right, you're now at the 1 hour and 45-minute mark.
All right. I'm going to try something.
I guess an alternative would be hook it all up and turn on the power and lay it up inside that way and see if you can see.
Yeah, I don't want to be messing with it hooked up to power when I'm moving around the construction of it.
Right.
Dash says it's 100 centimeters.
Yes, that's his NX01.
Yeah.
So it's the 1 meter version.
Well, what I can tell you is that the sensor band on the neck lines up much better on this one.
Well, that's good. It was pretty bad on the other one. Howard's saying, what is this precision timing?
Yeah, I'll have to play with it off camera. I'm gonna have to move my workbench out and stuff like that because I'm gonna have to get around to all sides of it. So unfortunately, it's not gonna be able to be something I'm gonna be able to deal with tonight on the live stream.
Well, it's unfortunate.
But it's just one of those things you end up running into on these garage kits that are really one kit at a time, right? So we'll work the way through it. It's just gonna continue to delay me getting to that final paint stage that I want to get to so badly. It's just gonna stop me from getting to that paint job that I want to do. Anybody seen Strange New Worlds this week?
By the way, your face cam and face cam.
Anybody seen Strange New Worlds this week?
Not I.
No.
I have to do some catching up.
Where the character of Kirk does an impression of William Shatner playing Kirk.
Oh.
Although I have heard described as what is it? Is it Paul Wesley? Is that what his name is? I can't remember. Who plays Kirk? Who plays Kirk in Strange New Worlds?
Alec is saying he's seen the episode.
Paul Wesley. Is that what I said?
I do believe it is.
Yeah, got it right. So Paul Wesley, who plays Kirk in Strange New Worlds, did an impression essentially of Vic Magneta doing Kirk. So Vic Magneta, I guess is how you say his name, played Kirk in Star Trek Continues. And so it was kind of like an impression of him doing an impression of Kirk. But that's all I'm going to say about that because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who did not see it yet in the episode. So where are we at with this model? I'm going to have to work on figuring out what is keeping the saucer from sitting down properly on the bottom saucer. So I'm gonna have to figure out what's preventing the top saucer from sitting down properly on the lower saucer. I didn't have this problem on the first one. And hopefully I don't have to make modifications to the armature if that's what's kind of preventing it. It might need a wee bit of reshaping on the back there because it did flatten a little bit, so I might need to rework that a little bit.
New viewer?
REF Warp Drive, welcome to the stream. We're just near the end, but we are going to be rolling over to another stream here as soon as this one's done. And he says, I'm waiting so I can binge watch all of New Trek, okay? All of New Trek? Everything from the end of Enterprise on? Is that what you mean? Because that'll be a fair bit. Although I guess it wouldn't be much different than watching one original show because they're only doing what 8 episodes of? Is it 8 episodes of season 3 or 10 episodes or something like that?
Yeah, not like the original shows like TOS and TNG, DS9, Voyager. Those are all like 20-something episodes a season.
Yeah.
Jody says, I'm ready on your mark.
Okay, good to know.
And RAF Warp Drive says he's usually a lurker. So he's probably been here for a while just lurking.
And that's all right. So only 10 episodes in season 3 of Strange New Worlds. And we're used to, like, it started out at like 26 episodes a season on the Next Gen. I think that came down to more like 24, something like that. They got it down to 22 and then 20 on Enterprise by the time they were done. But yeah, when you've only got 10 episodes in a season, it probably doesn't take a whole lot of time to watch it through. RAF says, I'm rewatching Enterprise for the 5th time. And Alan says, how did you like the revamped Klingon ship from last week's Strange New Worlds? After a week, I don't think it's a spoiler. Looked fine to me. I think they already had that asset from somewhere. But it's like it's a bit of a different version of the D7. Obviously, there's going to be more detail in anything that they're showing now, because TV technology, filming technology, 3D, CG effects, and all that kind of stuff are higher. So you get like almost like the HD version of what maybe they would have liked to have been able done back when TOS was on. But I don't know. Star Trek to me is a bit of a period piece. So like I would tend to stay closer to what was done in the time period. But it was a cool looking ship. Not so much a fan of the shuttle, but the D7 looked pretty cool. Dash says 8 episodes. The last episode drops on September 11th. Well, I just Googled, and it said that there's 10 episodes in season 3 of Strange New Worlds. So I know there's only like 5 or 6 episodes in season 5, the last season. It's going to be a short season, but Google's telling me it's 10, but I don't know. 8 would seem fairly short. I don't know. I do not know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know these things. All right. So Jody, I think, said he's ready to go. Let me make sure that everything is working out all right. I have a notification on Discord, and I can't find where the notification is. Oh, it's a friend request from Blair. Got it. All right, I had to dig down through a few menus to figure out where it was. All right, so I'm just going to check that he is good. Jody said he was good to go, right?
He did. I'm just looking at IMDb, and they're saying for this season here, season 3, is it? It is 10 episodes.
Okay.
Season 4, they're saying 10 episodes. And season 5, they're saying 6 episodes. Is what they're saying on IMDb.
Yeah. I knew the last season's a very short season. All right, so Jody, go ahead and boot up your stream. We're going to end it right here. So thank you everyone for joining. I hope it's you've enjoyed the stream. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to my channel or you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button today. You'll make me very happy if you do. We may not have gotten the lid on that thing tonight, but it is going to happen very, very soon. I'm going to probably look at that off camera. Maybe I'll be doing it on a live stream tomorrow. Who knows? But I might do a live stream tomorrow. But if that thing's going to be ornery, I might just be doing that off camera. We'll have to see how that goes. But for now, my name is Andrew. Your producer tonight has been Ken. Is Jody ready? He hasn't gone live yet. So hopefully he goes live here any moment, and we will send y'all over. Are you live? Are you live, Jody? Did you go live already? And he's live. All right. So have a good night, guys. See you later. Head on. We're going to send you on over.